Shout out Beware. What up, though? And it's your favorite Pistons podcast, Pro Wrestling Talk for the Pistons fan. Want to find out more about our show, like where to order our official t-shirt or how to follow us on social media? Visit our Linktree /PWTPF. That's linktr.ee/PWTPF. And thanks to our premier sponsor, ticket-barter.com. See you at the seats. So I did do the WrestleMania review of our trip and how did I mention Fochilla on there? The bar that we went to was doing Fochilla, and they had a Justin Bieber lookalike contest. And I went in there wearing my normal stuff, I thought. And I had on a Fear God hat. I had it on backwards. And the guy was like, okay, you the first black guy to get in the Justin Bieber lookalike contest. And I was like, what? What? Vegas is something else, man. That's a crazy place, man. That's just crazy. I didn't even know Coachella was going on, but I did think it was crazy. Fochilla? That's wild. And they was going crazy it was Coachella in Vegas. And I know you're like, Joe, you was at WrestleMania. All the WrestleMania parties were going on. You went to Fochilla? Man, listen, man. When you with your wife, man, you gotta. It's about compromise, baby. It's about compromise. The point is, we out the house. We got a good babysitter with our kids back in Detroit, and we had a little resort credit, right? That's the point. That's just the point. Somebody randomly sent me a question. What do you think is the sneaker of the year? And this is not because it was one of my favorite players, but it's the Ja. It's the Ja. The one that looks like a mountain climber shoe. I mean, everybody has those. Everywhere you went to. Shout out to show supporter Derek. Derek told me he had 3 pair because Derek still hoop about my age too. And I wanted to get a pair. I'm hoping I can still find a pair. The colorways were crazy. I know that they just recently dropped the photos for the new Ja's, right? But man, that one this past season, classic. I think Chubbs. When I went and hoop with Chubbs, was Chubbs hooping the notes? Show supporter Chubbs. No, he was. All the Ja's been crazy though. All of them. I ain't even gonna front. All the Ja sneakers been crazy good. And that's why I can't wait to start video for this show. That's why, because it just seemed like, I know somebody's like, what do they look like? And now if you type in Ja Morant sneaker, the new one's gonna come up. I'm talking about the ones that look like, with I don't know, that's just dropping in right there. Just imagine. Okay, so I've been watching WrestleMania for 42 years. I'm 42 years old. Of course, I don't remember 1 and 2, but I distinctly remember 3 because, as we know, my family went. This is a fun topic, right? Really fun. I put this in the Discord on the wrestling channel a couple weeks ago. Somebody on Wrestling Vault did a photo dump of WrestleMania 3. They said, hey, I'm a photographer. I was at WrestleMania 3. I found all these photos that I took. And lo and behold, you can see my dad on the photo. This is the craziest thing. My cousin was like, yo, did you notice something in this photo? He is right next to my uncle. And then you can see the top of my cousin's hat. You can see the top of his hat. And we have photos of them before they left the house. And my cousin has on that hat. You can't see his face. But I'm like, that's Jason right next. That's crazy. So I'm going to upload that as this show's cover. It's just fun. Wow, that's my dad. Rest in peace. And yeah, I showed it to my mom. My mom was like, yo, that is him. That's your dad circa 1987. Wow. It's just crazy that all these years, like I said, we have photos at the house, right before we left, because my cousin had that 12-inch Hulk Hogan down. We're playing with that and stuff like that, but no photos at the event because they didn't want the people. They had camera phones already. And my mom was like, yes, that is definitely, and that is your uncle because your uncle always wore overalls. Pause. That's why people ask me, what do you, all I do is, I'm just basketball lifestyle. That's all I do. Basketball lifestyle, wrestling lifestyle. That's it. I just born into it. If I'm not, watching basketball, I'm playing the basketball video game. I love NBA Jam. I'll be playing NBA Jam, the old one on Nintendo Wii. Now I play NBA Bounce with my kids. And, if I'm not doing that, I'm watching. I don't have no other. This is my life, right? This is it. That's why, remember AEW was in Toledo? Remember, I drove by myself. Don't nobody want to, I go by myself. Literally, you see me at these places, I be this is my lifestyle. I love the 90s, especially 90s, right? Don't ever, see me at a Starbucks and bring up 90s. I'd be late for work. Yeah. And that time shot, Michaels. I'm the type of guy, it'd be and the Mountie was underrated. Who is the Mountie? Everybody has put their, thoughts out about WrestleMania, right? And I'm just gonna, this is how I'm just gonna do it. A lot of things matter because groupthink is so popular in this world, especially in this world of the internet. It's readily available internet, mobile internet, all these things. People out in the rural, way up north in Michigan, they got satellite internet. Everybody got the internet, and it's fast too. Even if you got cricket is pretty good. Even if you got cricket. What's that like crazy stat where it's like, oh, between whatever, like 1900 and like, you gotta look it up. This is not a financial podcast, but they're like, oh, there was only like 10 billionaires in the United States or something. But then between 1987 and now there's like, 50 billionaires. Why is that? Why? And the answer is very simple. There's more money to make. There's more people to make money off of. That's very simple, right? Because we're all connected through the internet, and that also plays over into groupthink. Imagine Amazon without the internet, right? You tell your cousin in California, you'd be like, man, this is warehouse we got. You just walk in, you can buy anything. Christmas trees, mattresses, just anything, right? And they bring it to your house. Your cousin be like, what are you talking about? Like, hey, yeah, we got the Amazon store. But with the internet, we're all walking through the same warehouse. We're all walking through the same warehouse on Amazon. So I'm just gonna say this: when you're watching a show, it depends on a couple of things, like how you watch the show, right? Like, and this is something that I've just come to the conclusion since I've become a family man. I'm a husband. I'm a dad, right? I have obligations at work. I'm a department chair, right? And so if you really get to enjoy a show, like you just sit down on your couch and enjoy a show, which is rare because multitasking is alive. Yeah, do your best to just get away from multitasking, but that like, because you can lock in and you can focus, you can see all the little stuff. Or like me, you have to. I don't even get to see the show live. That's why I don't even comment in the Discord. A lot of times I'm listening to the show, right? Because I just got like my headphones on and I'm like helping my kids, or I'm potty training my son or something like that. Or like I'm working and I have it on the computer. So it's like on the left screen and on the right screen, I'm grading papers. So how you watch a show depends on a lot. When I can pay attention, when I can sit down on the couch and watch a show, just shout out to AEW. That's why I like the Sunday night pay-per-view, because the kids are sleeping and all of that. Like, I can pay attention. Like, when MJF came out, like, the other week, I said, he sounds like Terry Funk. I would have never noticed that, like, if I was just listening to it in my headphones and stuff like that. So, I'm not, like, able to do a review if and I won't do a review if I haven't like seen the show fully, right? And it's full context, right? Not edited or anything like that. I'm not gonna do a show, right? I'm just like, and a lot of people are doing so, and they say I didn't watch the whole thing. And I'm like, well, why are you commenting? Why? I just kept flipping back and forth, and then wait, you don't get to comment, right? Because you didn't see it in its full context. It's like way back in the day when the Discord was jumping, like I was commenting on an AEW show because I was grading papers. I had it on the left screen, I was grading papers on the right screen, and then the next morning I started commenting again. They were like, "Were you commenting the night before and you didn't even watch?" Somebody jumped hater in. You didn't even watch the show, and now you da. I'm like, I was watching the show. I was making like offhanded comments, but now I'm rewatching the show and I have a different view. But you know, the hater, you don't know nothing, you stupid. It wasn't like I released the episode and did a full review. These are my thoughts on AEW, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I was just commenting. I was just making random comments. But, no, you can't even comment. You're stupid. I owned you. I just owned you. You just got cooked. I'm like, what are you? I have the receipt. I ordered it. Like, this is crazy. Like, I didn't give the show a letter grade. I'm like, I'm circling back this morning. I mean, especially AEW pay-per-views, $50-$60. I can watch it twice. But I would definitely, people can do what they want to do. People can do what they want to do. That's the other thing. And you can watch what you want to watch and everything like that. I'm just saying, it depends on how much. Maybe I would be fronting. Like, oh, yeah, I watched the whole show. If they pay me enough, I watched the whole show, and here's my letter grade. Who you watching with matters. That's my other point I want to bring up. Who you watching with? Because, like for instance, like last week, Sunday, I went to the Pistons game with show supporter backboards times backdrops. Backboards times backdrops, right? And we don't know each other besides, like, Discord and him listening to the show and everything. So my experience was different. Then Monday, I went with show supporter Chuck, right? Chuck and I have a little bit of a history together. We have mutual friends, blah, 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 blah. The experience was completely different. It does help out that the Pistons won, right? That does help out. But if you watch the show with somebody who already has negative feelings towards the WWE, this is going to spill off on you, right? You're going to start to notice things that they're bringing up and stuff like that. If you're watching with WWE fanboys, you know, then that's going to kind of spill. Yeah, that is dope, you know. The other thing is review the show, right? We can't be pocket watching, right? I don't even think, have I worked for $1 billion company? I think I've worked for a $1 billion company before in my life, but I wasn't like a higher up, right? I didn't manage the budget. I was just a common worker. All I can digest is what I saw. That's it. That's all I can digest is just what I saw as a consumer. But I guess it's just part of wrestling fan culture. We just want to know more. Like, I have no idea why the Slim Jim labels are on the table. Like it may be past debt, or who knows? We just don't know that. I mean, we assume, they're charging for, I've never seen a media packet go out or RFP, request for pricing, or anything like that, right? But we just don't know. We assume some things. I don't know why the guy was sitting at the announcer's table, the millionaire from Syracuse, and I don't really know all the detail. All I can do is watch the product and say, okay, that was a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Right? That's really it. Now billionaires like everybody's like F TKO and all this stuff like that, and then TKO is like, I don't want to take any advice from you because have you ever managed $1 billion company? And that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Yeah, you got me. I'm a bro. But shout out to Tony Schiavone, and that's rare that you'll hear me say that because Tony Schiavone is my least favorite wrestler announcer of all time, man. But he said something. He said, but guess what? But I mean, I have $1 billion, but guess what? I do know how to treat people, right? And we're just talking about how do you treat people? How do you treat your consumer? That's all we're talking about right now. So yes, I don't know if TKO is in debt. As a matter of fact, this is no surprise. Like when I first got into like investing and stuff like that, I invested in WWE. I was told invest in what you know, right? And I get those big binders or whatever once a quarter, and it's just I ain't looking through that. And if you do it, I mean, like, hey, look, maybe your job is paying you because we have a lot of influence to go through those pages and look through and see where they're in debt and not. But I just usually kind of keep them as collectors. I just put them in there, and then after a couple years, I guess I ain't even keeping them as collectors out because if they fill up the file account, I just throw them away. So with all that said, now you have to take into account that I was in Vegas for the festivities, right? So naturally, I'm just on a little bit of a high, right? Just a little bit of a high. I thought the advertising was distracting, right? All right, distracting because I think that you should do advertising within the flow of whatever the event is, right? Like I think the NBA does very well with the placement of the logo. Like OKC got the love symbol on there. I think who do the Pistons have? But either way, it's like up in the top right corner, not too big, not too overpowering, and then they have the Nike symbol, right? Because I think Nike's the first like official logo on an NBA jersey. If I'm correct, I might be wrong because like Reebok and Adidas did the warm-ups and so they had little subtle hints to their brand, but on the actual jersey, I think Nike's the first one, but it all flows well. It's not like a huge Nike, like, you know, the Prestos drop in July or anything. Now, I will say, like, if you're an upstart brand, you know, maybe like, but the WWE is not an upstart brand. Like when the UFC first started, like, yes, they had and still have logos everywhere. The ring posts are wrapped, movie release, everything, right? But they were more of an upstart brand. Also, if you're an international fan, I know when I first started watching, and I don't even want to say I'm watching because I don't keep up with New Japan storylines, but when I first saw my first part of New Japan footage, or in CMLL and all these brands, I was like, wow, they got logos on the mat like boxing, right? That was so maybe international fans were like, I don't even notice that much. And I know y'all can't forget. Remember Total Nonstop Action with the stacker? Everything was stacked. They had the stackers on the desk. Everything. But again, it was an upstart brand, so you expected that. But WWE was like, this is kind of distracting. You think you do something like more in the flow of the production, kind of like the NBA, right? I'm not like comparing them. I'm just saying something that, you know, it got the point across, but it wasn't so overpowering, right? Like, wow. But every league is doing this. You know, I haven't watched the NFL game in years, but I know I watch college football. There are so many digital graphics. But funny story. Now I'll end on the graphics part of this, like real quick. It's just like, I remember like this many years ago before the Pistons maybe even got Cade. Maybe it was Cade's first year or something. Myself and listener Will, we went to a Pistons game, right? And he was like, hey, I'm going to invite my homeboy. I was like, it's cool because I got an extra ticket. So anyway, LCA used to not be packed at all. Shout out to everybody who steals my shirt off the back of my chair because I get to games late. That's whack as hell and Jesus sees you. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, so it's me, Will, and Taryn. We're at the game, and it was funny because, like I said, advertising it can be distracting. But we're watching, and Taryn is like, it's comical that Tom Gores has the platinum equity on the court, right? And we're like, yeah, it is kind of crazy, but I was like, it does have a little bit of a nostalgic feel because, you know, it's like it kind of looks like back in the day when they used to have Palace on the court or whatever, and we're just sitting there chilling, and Taryn is like, and Platinum Equity is not even like a consumer-based company. It's like it's not like you could just call up Platinum Equity like, hey, I need consulting services or anything like it's a B2B company. So it is kind of weird just to see like Platinum Equity, just right. Like that was the first time I was like, yeah, that is kind of distracting, especially for him who doesn't go to a lot of games. He's like, this is just distracting. Now I think more than ever, and it was always curious. Like okay, like I always said, like AEW is an alternative, not a competitor, right? But I would, I'm backing away from that phrase just to get what Larry Holmes, get techno about the situation. AEW and WWE are two completely distinct brands. Like, I mean, maybe you all realized it before. There were always shades of like, oh, AEW's always been in WWE name, blah, 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 blah. These are completely distinct brands, right? I don't think Anthony over at AEW would ever have matches on his premiere show that short. And that is depressing as a wrestling fan. I'm going to say that. That is, to have like one of your premier stars, Io Sky, not present on the card. Tiffany Stratton, not present. Like, they treated him like the Big Show. Like, they treated him like the Miz. Like these people deserve a WrestleMania moment every single year. They're in their prime, in their prison. I'm not really like, oh, the build is what. It's WrestleMania. We don't need no build. We don't need no build. Like, at the bottom line, it's WrestleMania. Like, I know, and that may like be like, but again, let's just move away from groupthink a little bit. Like, for me, it's just like, hey, it is WrestleMania. We got Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. That doesn't need a build. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. That doesn't need a build. The names alone, like that's good enough for me. Pause. I think they got the main events right, and I would beg to. I like the way the matches ended. Right, I will say that I enjoyed the last few minutes of Cody and Randy. I enjoyed it. I'll just leave it at that. Like, I did enjoy it. I'm not saying the entire match. It's a 5-star. It's the best bout machine with kids. I'm just saying I enjoyed it. It was entertaining for me. The overall production. I thought the instant. Did y'all notice? Is it just me? Were the instant replays hella instant? Those were like, man. Those were like the sound of. Bypassing the sound of sound speed. Like, it's just like crazy. Like, somebody would do that. It was a boom, ready. Hella disappointing. This is 2 thumbs down for the production. Shame on ESPN. This was marketed as the first time ever on ESPN, which makes you think that it's going to be on ESPN proper. Not that it's, and they doing them just like the UFC. It's a paywall behind a paywall. That's crazy because I know some people that just couldn't afford it. Like, they're just like, I just can't afford to pay a paywall that, you know what I'm saying? And I thought I already had ESPN. I hated that. I absolutely hate it. I thought it was false advertising. And I am going to send them a letter and be like, hey, it was my perception that this would be on ESPN. This is not on ESPN. This was on an app. I enjoy, like, WrestleMania all weekend. I do think something is off. Something is off because, like, the flow is really bad. And I'm a fan of bringing NXT Stand and Deliver back to WrestleMania weekend. Maybe they can't get rid of SmackDown, but maybe if they just have SmackDown Stand and Deliver edition or something like that, like Hall of Fame on Thursday, SmackDown Stand and Deliver on Friday, and then Saturday WrestleMania Night 1, Sunday WrestleMania Night 2. I'm fine with having a full weekend of event. Like that. I'm more than UFC used to do that. They did that with UFC. I believe it was 200. They did Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Like, I enjoy it. Make it a spectacle. I enjoy All-Star Weekend, the Ricky Game, the Slam Dunk Contest. Like make it a complete weekend. The only one who drops the ball, I think, is maybe the NFL. They just have that one game. Like, there's nothing purposeful leading into the Super Bowl. But I'm fine. I just think it needs to be, like, reworked, right? Because it's awkward, especially when you're there. Especially when you're there, where it's like, SmackDown, then you gotta run out and go to the building next door. Everybody crowded. You have to go through security to go to the Hall of Fame. Stand and Deliver was non-existent. Like, something gotta give. They're on to the right thing. It's just the flow is awkward. Also, I think that something needs to be done. I know when they were in Philly, probably one of the greatest WrestleMania endings ever. I know that they had the 2 nights linked. Like, it's like, Rock, hey, if you went on Saturday night, then Sunday night is this. Boom, boom, boom. Something has to link up those 2 nights again. I would love to see, like, maybe the 2 champions fight on Saturday night, and then they fight against each other Sunday night. Like, make that an annual tradition or something. But I think they should always lean to linking the 2 nights, because now you just have, like, this year, just that comparison. Which one was better? Like, what did they do?